Fantasy football managers, brace yourselves. Week 2's inactives list might just turn your Sunday upside down. If you've ever benched a player who went off or started someone who didn't even suit up, you'll know the struggle is real. But here's where it gets especially tricky. This week's decisions involve headline names and unexpected shakeups. If you want to avoid costly lineup mistakes, you'll need to stay sharp and informed as inactive reports come flooding in. Official injury updates and final inactives start rolling in around 90 minutes before each kickoff. So for early games, check around 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and for afternoon matchups, look again about 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Monitoring these lists can be the difference between a crushing loss and a big win. Be sure to refresh your feeds often for late-breaking news. So, what should you keep an eye on this Sunday? Quinshon Judkins, running back for Cleveland, is officially listed as questionable. But let's be honest, the more appropriate label might be Rusty. He missed the entire preseason and only officially joined the team last week. While he's expected to be active, don't be surprised if Dylan Sampson or Jerome Ford, both of whom struggled in the opener, see significant touches. Jaylen Wright, Miami's running back, is battling a knee issue and is unlikely to see the field. Even if he is cleared, expect Devon Achane to carry the bulk of the load, especially considering Miami's thinned-out offensive line. This could open doors for Achane to impress fantasy owners eager for a breakout. Turn your attention to New York. Giants wide receiver Wan'Dale Robinson is dealing with an ankle injury. He managed limited practices late in the week, which is encouraging, but is it enough? Teammate Darius Slayton has been cleared of his groin injury. Dallas, meanwhile, will be without starting cornerback Deron Bland, potentially making this a favorable matchup for Giants receivers. Over in San Francisco, early reports say Jauan Jennings is expected to play through a shoulder ailment. But here's the part most people overlook. San Francisco's current quarterback situation clouds all receiver values, Jennings included. Meanwhile, Jordan Watkins, not on this week's final injury report, re-enters the mix for valuable wide receiver snaps. Now, let's talk about those ruled out before Sunday even began, a list that might just fuel some fantasy controversies. Younghoe Koo, Atlanta's usually reliable kicker, didn't even travel with the team. Could this signal a changing of the guard with Parker Romo handling kicks from here on out? Baltimore's Isaiah Likely, foot, is sidelined, leaving Mark Andrews with little competition for targets at tight end. Expect an uptick in Andrews' usage, unless defenses key on him. Denver tight end Nate Adkins is inactive due to an ankle injury. But the Broncos catch a break with Evan Engram returning to full practices after his own calf concern. In Kansas City, rookie receiver Xavier Worthy sits with a shoulder issue. Is this Hollywood Browns week to seize the spotlight? Or could Juju Smith-Schuster emerge with renewed opportunity? Miami's tight end corps loses Darren Waller, hit, again, but don't bank on much from backups Tanner Connor or Julian Hill, who were invisible in Week 1. Jets wideout Josh Reynolds is out with a hamstring injury. This vacancy could elevate veterans like Alan Lazard or even give rookie Arian Smith a shot at targets. Philadelphia back Will Shipley is dealing with an oblique injury, possibly opening the door for recent addition Tank Bigsby to get reps behind Saquon Barkley. Philly fans, brace yourselves. Dallas Goedert, knee, won't suit up. Grant Calcaterra and Kylan Granson may pick up snaps, but Goedert's absence likely spreads targets among the Eagles' other pass catchers. With Pittsburgh's Joey Porter Jr. sidelined, hamstring, all of Seattle's receivers get a quiet bump in fantasy potential. And here comes the controversy. San Francisco loses not only quarterback Brock Purdy for potentially multiple weeks, toe injury, but also tight end George Kittle, who lands on injured reserve. What can we expect from Mac Jones as the fill-in? Jake Tonges attempts to step up at tight end, but will either prove fantasy relevant. For the late window, keep a lookout for Indianapolis running back Tyler Goodson, elbow, whose involvement, even if active, will likely be limited by a committee with DJ Giddens, behind clear starter Jonathan Taylor. In Las Vegas, tight end Brock Bowers has a knee issue. Coach Pete Carroll thinks he'll suit up Monday, but there won't be clarity until game day. A true headache if you need a tight end pivot on short notice. And this is the part where fantasy managers often disagree. Should you roll the dice on injured stars or place your trust in unproven backups? What's your risk tolerance? Is it time to bench those big names, or could conservative moves cost you a win? We want to hear from you. Which tough lineup calls are you struggling with? Is there one inactive or game-time decision that's sending your strategy into chaos? Drop your thoughts, advice, and hottest takes in the comments below. Let's debate the toughest choices in Week 2 fantasy